Hello, Peter. Thank you so much for speaking to Overdrive and congrats on the success that the Skoda brand has seen so far in India.
My pleasure.
Now, you
Thank you.
made quite a few major announcements today. So, we'd like to talk a bit more about that. So, this new
Sure.
compact SUV that you've spoken of, can you give us, just for our audience, a brief timeline of when they can expect it to come to India?
Yeah, I cannot be really 100% precise, but the precise would be that 1 year exactly from now. So the countdown should start and it should be like end of February. This is the target time we want to really launch the car as it should be launched. So it will be really born with all pricing, start of sales, having the demo cars available for our customers in the network, having the first cars available as a free stock for sales. And this is how the journey will become in 1 year time.
Okay, and going on further, now you will be entering a segment that is quite crowded now. I mean,
Yes.
almost everyone has an offering in that segment. So, how will Skoda differentiate itself in this market?
So it's a very good question because we understand the Indian customer is very demanding. At the same time, we should have never missed this opportunity because we understand that there is over 63% of all the new car buyers in 2023 who bought a sub 4 meter car, and we did not have any offer there, and we understood we must be there. So once you understand in which segment you want to go, you then say with what car you want to go there. And as the SUV is the most admired and still growing version, we decided for SUV. So it took some time to develop it because the car is design-wise already going more our new way, the modern solid way. So it's definitely not a Kushak smaller brother. It's the car with a solid, bold identity of Skoda, and we are happy to bring it next year. So what we bring in order to fulfill the customer expectation, but as well bringing something more, because in our DNA is always to surprise customers with something on top. And we think you are right. You are very much right saying the segment is crowded, very competitive. But we think bringing the platform from the higher segment to this segment is definitely something what will be a real value. So the customers will understand having a very powerful and efficient and reliable TSI technology engines, having the platform which will still within the wheelbase which we will provide for this car make an ultimate space inside of the car and comfort, bringing the safety within our obligatory 5-star NCAP ranking. All these things, like taking care about the customers, should be something new in the segment. I mean, we are not alone there with such a brand promise, but we do it our own way, and it was always our mission to democratize the mobility with a European technology on an Indian roads, and this car is a real ambassador of this statement what we are now bringing.
Okay, great. And you also said that Skoda will account for 5% sales of the Indian market, you said, by 2030. So how much of that will come from this particular model?
So this was a statement of my CEO, which I have to say it was right, and I will follow the order. Yes, Klaus Selmer said this is the target for Skoda in India, and I think we both understand that it cannot be done just with one car additional. Yeah? So there are more cars from Skoda to come in order to fulfill this mission. Skoda needs to grow, Skoda needs to become a big volume player. Skoda will not only invest here for local produced and sold cars, we as well go for export, because from 2035, Europe is going more or less 100% electric, and there will be much more opportunities. What role can India have for Skoda globally? And we will definitely use all these opportunities. Coming back to the question, which cars are taking and participating and enabling this growth, which we are planning until 2030. A part of the compact SUV, which we bring in 1 year time, which is definitely more than doubling our current volume. So we will be definitely close to 3%. There are like 2% still missing to 5. Yeah? And we think government is right, asking all the manufacturers going for a very ambitious target until 2030 with EVs only at least 30%. If we do the right measures on the right time, even if it is a very ambitious target, it's still achievable. And if some more clarity about the regulation is coming at the right time, Skoda definitely brings the EV portfolio, which is the second biggest contributor to this growth. Yeah? We still cannot disclose all things which are coming, but I think this is more or less the journey we are going to bring for Skoda in India.
So just to go forward with the EV thing, because I had it in my list as well.
Okay.
So how is that project coming along? The last time I spoke to some Skoda representatives, they said that you will look to heavily localize it. So is that still the plan?
I mean, there are only these three possibilities how to bring EVs to India. CBU possibility, we understand, is not the preferred option, but we will still use it for our biggest SUV, which is a 7-seater, the biggest Skoda EV. But there will be other 2 EVs, which we will bring from Europe as a parts and components cars for our second factory. However, the biggest volume will be done on A0 EV, which will be deeply localized and manufactured in Pune. When, how the car will look like, and how much will it cost, we don't know today. It's a little bit too early.
And just going forward from that, there have been a few stories doing the rounds about this Skoda and Volkswagen looking for partners. Do you have anything to say about that in India?
Oh, this is above my brand director responsibility, so I cannot comment the funding. I can just say Skoda was always committed very much to all the investment we have done in India. As I just said, there are much more opportunities. What role can India play in the worldwide global Skoda ecosystem? And we are going to explore and use them all. So, but anything what you ask, unfortunately, I'm not able to comment today.
Okay, so we'll just come back to Skoda then. A lot of your brand's sort of credibility in India has been built on cars like the Octavia and the Superb. A lot of us like those cars a lot. So do you have any plans for those cars?
Definitely. I mean, Octavia built Skoda brand in India. This is the car of Skoda in India. We have over 70,000 customers daily and handling the steering wheel of Octavia, and most of them would like to still have a next Octavia in their customer journey, and we need to bring it back. The same for new Superb. I mean, for Octavia, it's very important to say that this car will even extend the life cycle in Europe until 34. And that's why there is a big opportunity now to bring it in India. We are looking for the right powertrain. And at the same time, the new Superb is a completely new journey. So both cars will probably come with parts and components, which still need some time for preparation. In the meantime, there can be some series of the CBUs as well in order to satisfy the most hot customers who would definitely want to change.
Great. So now just to end, we think this whole idea of letting your buyers and fans name your new car, it's a great idea. So do you have a favorite car, a name that you would like to pick?
I don't want to influence the people. I think it should be really each other wish and voice. But what I've heard today, there is not one preferred. So people likes all of them, and everybody is like choosing. It's very, very, very close. And even we would really welcome that some people will come with a completely new name. By coming with a new name, once we would choose it, once the Indian nation would choose this name, it would be forever written in our rich 129-year history. So, but if you ask me about mine, I will tell you, mine is quick, because I think this should be like fastest way to European mobility on Indian roads. And this should quick represent. And I like this IQ in the end, like it's a clever decision to buy a Skoda. So I see a lot of association which resonates with me, but I'm not someone who will buy the car in India. That's why I really leave it up to the potential customers and fans to vote for their own name.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for
Thank you
speaking
very
to
much.
us.